Let's podcast live. It's a Sleek Fleet OG Live. We are at Longleaf Swine in downtown Raleigh today for a very special edition of the show. It's Giglio's birthday. Did you take Sleek Fleet over here?
No, but I have Sleek Fleet lined up for an airport run. Absolutely.
Okay. That's
this weekend.
That's what it's all about. The other thing,
you're going to the arena, you're going to the airport. There's things that you want to do, things you don't want to do. Well, sleek-fleet.com.
We're also in peak playoff mode,
yes.
Which means that if you want to get to PNC Arena throughout this entire run and you want to have a good time and not worry about driving back, well, Sleek Fleet can do that for you. We also have the U.S. Open coming up.
It's coming.
And that'll be here before you know it. You want to get that transportation done to get in and out of that area and just ride in style with a bunch of people, because I know a lot of folks are going to be making big group events out of it. So that's what you need to do. Just head on over to sleek-fleet.com. As I mentioned, we are at Longleaf Swine today. Check them out, longleafswine.com. They have an incredible menu. I had the pot pie. You gave me the pot pie. They made it special just for your birthday.
I told you.
I love that.
Now, when you're at the Swine.
Whoa, when I'm at the Swine.
You got a pickle.
I do the pickle shot. So I got the Evan Williams first. This is to a year, Joe. Where's your
man.
drink? Where's your drink?
Well,
this is to a year. Yeah, you could do the Untitled Art.
Cheers.
We'll have some more information about what we got coming up next week
with Dimitri. He has the big special.
Yes. Dimitri is here. We got a big announcement that we're going to have.
I like it.
Hey, what up, man? How you doing? So we have an announcement that we're going to make in about 15, 20 minutes or so.
We got some hockey business to take care of.
We do have hockey business to take care of course. So let's actually talk about this business tonight. Game 3 between the Carolina Hurricanes. But I don't want to diminish the announcement stuff, because it actually is a pretty big deal. We're just trying to do a little bit of a normal show here before we bring Dimitri on to talk about what we got coming up. A little OG media content that'll be happening before the start of the college football season. So we'll give you some information on that in about 15, 20 minutes. We have a conversation with Sebastian Aho. You had a conversation with Sebastian Aho.
Superfish.
Where I caught a stray, I think, a little bit.
You did.
I wasn't there for this. Caught a little bit of a stray. So y'all will get to hear that. We'll also hear from Rod Brindamore from yesterday's press availability as it relates to Brett Pesce and what they're going to be doing with Tony DeAngelo, which is kind of the thing tonight. That's kind of the thing tonight.
Yeah.
With Game 3 against the Islanders, we've talked about depth. We've talked about this team being healthy, and we've already seen two very key cogs to the depth miss ice time. You've had the Jesper Fast right before the start of the playoffs and the last game of the season. We don't know his status. And now we have Brett Pesce, who yesterday Rod Brindamore kind of alluded to the fact that we're probably not going to see him in this series.
Definitely not this series. I'm still convinced he got hurt on Andersley power play goal to make it 3-0 Islanders early in that second period. I think he tried to go back out and realized your ankle and your foot are not supposed to turn the way that his did with a skate on it and as a fulcrum. So, but listen, Tony DeAngelo, 2 years ago was their number one power play defenseman.
Yep.
On their number one pairing with Jacob Slavin. Now, he's not going to play with Jacob Slavin in this series, but you're bringing in a guy who is capable.
Mm-hmm.
He's certainly capable of playing a role. And, the comment that I had, the question I had asked Rod was about, for so many years, this is year 6.
Yeah.
For so many years, it's been on the road. The Canes struggle because Jordan Staal can't be matched up with the other team's top center.
Yeah.
Because you don't, in hockey, as the home team, you get the last choice of when to send your line out. So the Canes have struggled on the road because of that reason. So I said, I called him Sebastian for some reason. Is Sebastian playing at a level that it really doesn't matter at this point?
Yeah.
And he was like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's the highest compliment you can get. He said, obviously, we're still trying to get Jordo out against the other team's top line. He's always going to get the toughest assignment, always.
Yes.
But he said, we're at the point where if a Barzell's out there and Fishy's out there, they're okay with that.
So here's Rod Brindamore from yesterday's pregame availability. He'll have more availability today ahead of tonight's
I got to get you with your vernacular.
Island. Wait.
So yesterday's your off day availability.
Off day availability. Sorry.
Today is your pregame.
Pregame.
Then you have game.
I'm out of practice.
And then you have postgame.
I'm out of practice.
So today is the availability that he really fucking hates.
Yes.
Today is the pregame availability.
Wait, does he hate today or does he hate the off day even more?
No, because off day, you're at least reacting to the previous game and talking a little bit about what's going to happen in the next game.
That's true.
when you do pre-game, it becomes, oh, how's Tony feeling? He's good. He's ready to go. Freddie's in net? Yes.
Yes.
What do you think?
Okay.
Then it becomes, why do I have to talk to you before the game? I don't want to.
And then depending on how the game goes, we'll see what kind of mood he is after the fact. Anyway, here's Rod Brindamore, off day, availability.
There it is.
Talking about Brett Pesce, his status, and Tony DeAngelo and why he's here.
Yeah, he'll be out for, more than likely this series.
Is that maybe more of a positive that it's just one series and not maybe longer?
Yeah, not really. We gotta, he's a big part of what we're doing. So that, that's a big blow.
Rod, how much Tony has played with you guys in the playoffs before. How much value is there in that and putting him in that?
Yeah, he got some action at the end of the year too there, and if we decide to go that way, we know what he is, and he certainly, like you said, it's nothing new to him.
Can you talk about that a little bit, playing with Shea? They were talking about it in the room, and he's a little bit different defenseman than Pesce.
Yeah, well, of course. It's, maybe the exact opposite, really, but certainly a quality player, and we got a lot of faith in him.
Did you see an improvement in DeAngelo's game maybe from the beginning of the season to when that kind of chunk of game when Chatfield missed time? It seemed he really kind of had more understanding of what you guys were expecting.
Yeah, listen, he's been here before. We had him for a whole year, and I think he played almost every game. We know what we got in that player. That's why we went and got him. It's just unfortunate didn't get to play much this year because we were healthy, and but this is exactly why you want a guy like that around.
When you talk about pairings, Orlov and Chatfield have really meshed well together here throughout the season. I know maybe it took Orlov a little bit longer to get in the system, but how did their skill sets kind of complement each other? Well,
I think you're touching on the key. It's you can put great players together, but if they don't quite, their skill sets or the way they play, they got to mesh. And so I think with Chatty and Orla, they've definitely been a great match. Chatty's got good wheels, and Orly's big and can certainly a little more physical kind of player. So I think their styles have certainly, worked.
So that's Rod Brindamore, off day availability.
There it
at
is.
Tonight's game. All right, so what are we going to get out of Tony DeAngelo? Obviously, you do not want him to be a defensive liability. As you mentioned earlier, you're able to hide that defensive liability when you're paired up with Jacob Slavin. You could probably hide my defensive liability with Jacob Slavin at that point. But the hope is that in his limited ice time, because we have a single game parlay that we put out there on DraftKings yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Had I known ahead of time, I would have asked you, is there a time on ice parlay we could have added to the could we added a leg of that to the parlay, and I would set the total ice time for Tony DeAngelo at 12 and a half minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You take an over or under on that?
Probably under.
Yeah, just slightly under on that. If he can provide something for you on the power play, which is what he was key for 2 years ago, not so much earlier this year and really in portions of last year, okay, then fine. You have a luxury at that point. But really all you're asking of Tony DeAngelo at this point is, man, don't screw it up.
Yeah.
That's all you're asking. When you're on the ice, don't screw it up. We're not asking that much. And Rod's trusted this guy, believed in this guy for like the last few years. So hopefully he gets repaid tonight against the New York Islanders because they have an opportunity, Joe.
Canes.
The Canes have an opportunity. Don't play with your food. You played with your food a little bit last year. These series never started, right? They only won the home games all the way up and through Florida. You only won the home games, right? So those are the things that you don't want to repeat this year. This team is better, obviously, because they're healthier. So you have an opportunity tonight, especially the way that you broke their will on Monday night. So take advantage of that. And wrap this thing up either in 4 or potentially 5 back home on Tuesday.
I expect the Islanders to come out breathing a little bit tonight.
Okay.
I do.
All right.
Because the thought process is, they are broken. Well, I think what you can do if you're the Canes is you get through that first period. That's when you break them.
Okay.
That's when you break them.
A little
As
bit,
you like to call it, the dead cat bounce. There's always a dead cat bounce.
There is. You'll get a little bit of that gurgle before things go away. I've said 5. Let's keep it at 5. I think the Rangers are likely going to find themselves in a similar situation against the Capitals. I think the Capitals have one game in them.
You're clinging.
They're clinging.
You're clinging.
It's tough. It's tough, but I think they're going to have one of them there. When the Canes do return home, make sure you check out Happy and Hale. They got their location outside Section 123 In the meantime, if you're looking for a little clean eating after you went hard in the paint for, I don't know, a weekend, or you're going hard in the paint for the draft tonight, a smoothie will do you some good, Joe.
I went yesterday.
Yeah.
You were air checking Bo. I air checked Tyler. I went over there. I'll tell you what, they have a great lunch crowd.
Yeah.
It moves really fast. Their crew is really, really good.
It is.
I got the Med Bowl.
Oh, I haven't had that one yet.
It's the chicken.
Yeah.
And there's like a yogurt sauce. So it's like a Greek.
Yeah. Look,
really good.
It's funny with Happy and Hale.
Really good.
Like with Happy and Hale, I'm like you. I have my bowls.
Sure.
So I usually go the ahi poke bowl because I love that. They got the yum yum sauce, which is delicious with the rice. And then I usually do the Bueno Bowl, which I know is available at PNC Arena as well for the home games. So check out Happy and Hale. Locations across the triangle. We got that North Hill spot. We got the spot out off of Six Forks, of course, Durham, and more importantly, throughout the playoffs, they've got their spot at PNC Arena just outside Section 123. Well, Joe, happy birthday. Part of your birthday gift was to get an official multi-leg parlay on DraftKings.
That was big time, man.
You like that?
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay. I put you on the assignment. I'm like, look, I'll give you the graphics. I'll do all that stuff. But Giglio's the one that needs to craft an official Ovies and Giglio quick single game parlay, which is on DraftKings right now. Use the promo code OG24 if you haven't signed up for DraftKings yet. You'll get, if you put $5 down, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. But more importantly, get up on this action. We got Brent Burns over 2.5 shots on goal. Sebastian Aho over half a point. Carolina and the Islanders both to score. Carolina to win the second period, and the Carolina Hurricanes with over 2.5 goals. You put some work into this parlay, man. This is your kind of parlay.
I'm a second period kind of guy, especially when it comes to the Canes, because they typically start slow, at least in the scoring department. They'll dominate, but then all of a sudden you're like, it's the second period. Their number in the second period's usually pretty good. So we'll see how close I am on this one. My baseball play today is the Blue Jays, who are a dog. The Blue Jays are a dog. Since people enjoy my baseball plays, Jose Barrios pitching for the Blue Jays today.
Last night I was hanging out with my parents while Jacob was at a hockey clinic. So typically he's at weight comp for like 2 hours. Doing hockey clinic stuff now. So I went and visited my parents, just, see what's going on with them. And they were getting ready for the Heat and the Celtics.
Yes.
And my mom was like, do you think they're going to win tonight? I'm like, the Heat have it in them.
The culture.
The culture has it in them to just drop a bunch of threes at some point when you least expect it.
Yeah, but an NBA record?
Right? I wasn't expecting that. So I pulled up DraftKings last night. I think the Heat were like plus 350. So on the money line, because you know me, I'm a money line guy.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, "Oh, you gonna put money?" I'm like, "Mom, I just put $5 down. I'm part of that $5 gang. I got 5 on it. That's where I'm at.
I got Cal Bowman.
So I put $5 down on that. I won some money last night thanks to the Miami Heat and the Heat culture. Yeah, I would look. I thought the Heat would have a win, make this a gentleman's sweep. I was not expecting a record amount of threes to drop on the Celtics. And
you know who was good last night? My boy.
Your boy?
The twin. Twin played well.
Funny how that works out. So use the promo code OG24. Look up, when you go to the Hurricanes, when you get on the DraftKings app, go to the Hurricanes specifically, and you will see our single game parlay for tonight. We'll do another one after this as well. So get in on the action. Also, this week, all North Carolina customers can place a pregame moneyline bet on the Hurricanes. And if they lead by at least 2 goals at any time during the game, you win, even if you end up losing the game, which I don't expect them to do tonight. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use that promo code OG24. New customers get $5. That bet $5 will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Again, that's code OG24 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Now, gambling problem? Visit the website or call 8777-185543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. 1 early win per opted-in customer. Max bet limits apply. Token expires at the start of the game. See dkng.co/ice for wagering for eligibility and terms. Let's do a little housekeeping. Housekeeping. Right, so with housekeeping, I want to breeze through one of our sponsors. Came through.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it in the bag.
Yep.
Because I don't want to mess it up. It's a perfectly, just
part
a
of the raffle, baby.
Clean white. So we're next week. So this is our fire anniversary week.
Yeah.
Next week is our podcast anniversary.
Yeah.
I'm all about the celebration.
Both dates are important.
They're very, very important. You're taking back your birthday.
Yeah.
Okay. We got the fire anniversary this week. Next week is the podcast anniversary, and we're going to celebrate it at Shady's out in Garner. This is part of the raffle.
Yes.
Now, how can you get on the raffle, Joe?
You need to Venmo me. You get 1 ticket for $25, 3 tickets for $50, or 6 tickets for $100 American dollars.
Mm-hmm.
We have bourbon. We have the Masters hat. We have the Where's UNC sign. We have the Seth Jarvis autographed 1-of-1 mixtape.
Secure location at the studio right now.
So my Venmo is my last name, Giglio Joe. Giglio Joe. Just Venmo me. $25 gets you a ticket. 50 gets you 3. 100 American dollars gets you 6 tickets.
Now, we are at Shady's, and we're having a good time next week for the podcast anniversary. Thanks to our friends at Whitaker and Hammer. Check them out, wh.lawyer. Again, that's wh.lawyer, attorneys and counselors at law. That Masters hat is thanks to Adam over at Breeze Through. We gifted him. We finally gave him that Georgia polo.
He got it. He's a damn good dog.
Hopefully it fits him. But with Breeze Through, they're going to be at Shady's next week because they have a food truck. You might not know this about Breeze Through. They have a food truck, Oak City Grill, and they're going to be at Shady's for the podcast anniversary on Friday. Burgers, barbecue. They got dogs. They got all that stuff.
Okay, so you know me.
Yeah.
I do not know technology.
Yeah.
I downloaded the Fuel Forward app. Search on your Apple Fuel Forward.
Okay.
You could save 5 cents a gallon every time. All you got to do is use the app.
All right.
Now you're thinking, well, how am I going to pay for the app? How am I going to do this? Listen, if I figured it out, you put a card on this app.
You can figure it out.
You punched in the number at the pump. That was it.
Yeah.
Done.
All right.
Donezo.
I love it.
Even I figured it out.
I love it.
Fuel Forward app, Breeze Through, our friends taking care of you.
Also, big thanks to Mosquito Authority and Pest Authority. They've been a corporate champion from the jump.
Yeah.
Hayes is an OG. We've been doing this a year.
Hayes is actually the actual OG.
We cannot
number one.
We cannot be here doing this a year later without y'all and people like Hayes sponsoring us. So support us by supporting them. Go to bugsbite.com, bundle and save with Mosquito Authority and Pest Authority. Again, that's bugsbite.com. All right. So you talked to Sebastian Aho on yesterday.
Off day.
Was it an off day yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, we had to divide and conquer because we have some soccer stuff that I was doing yesterday. And it was a whole weird mess yesterday, but that's neither here nor there. But you sent me a text. You spent some quality time with Fishy.
I did.
I'm thinking,
did.
oh, okay. I'm thinking 3 minutes,
No.
maybe 4 minutes.
No.
You spent damn near 10 minutes with Fishy yesterday.
I did.
Good for it. Like,
You missed the best part, though. I'll give you a little preamble here.
okay, what was the best part?
So I'm sitting there, and obviously, it's if you've never been in the Hurricanes locker room, the back in the middle of the room is the captain, Jordan Stahl. Right next to the captain, because Sebastian Aho will replace him as the captain sooner than later.
Yes.
He sits right next to Jordan. So I'm sitting next to Jordan. I'm talking to him, and I said, "Did you even catch the other day that the very first question I asked you included the word fuck?" He was like, I just hear it so much in the locker room that I didn't even think twice.
I was gonna say, what's he?
And he was like, "But yeah, you're out of practice." I was like, "Yes, I'm totally out of practice."
What's the matter to him? I mean, I know what's said in the locker room.
Well, no, I know. That's what he was thinking. Was like, "Oh, we're just talking, right?"
Yeah.
So we're chit-chatting a little bit, and then Aho comes in, and I said, "Oh, there's Super Fishy." And he goes, "Hey, did you hear what happened?" Sebastian says to Jordan, "Did you hear what this guy tried to pull over on me?" And I'm like, he goes, "We played this." He goes, "What was the name of the shuffleboard game?" I'm like, I think it's Soulbeck.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah." And then Saul knew what it was.
Oh, really?
He goes, "Oh, that game's awesome." And I was like, "Yeah, it's really cool." Fishy goes, basically like, this fucker was practicing staying up late at night playing. He goes, he thought he was going to beat me. He thought he was going to beat me.
He thought so.
And then we get here, and he goes, he was terrible. And then he was like, miscounting.
Miscounting. Exactly. Yeah, your math was bad.
I didn't miscount on purpose. He's like, oh, I'm just giving you shit. I go, okay.
That's what he does.
But he was like,
that's what he does.
He was like, this guy.
So we've got this conversation with Sebastian Aho. After that conversation, Dimitri Ravanos is going to drop on by.
Big
He's out here at Longleaf. We're going to let Joe go play golf on his birthday because Wego is here at Longleaf for the simulator golf.
Come on down. Come see us.
Are you going to be okay? You going to get that hole in one?
I mean, you see me sweating a little bit.
All right, you go do that. So we'll have the big announcement. We got Aho right now. Big announcement next.
Felt like when you scored your goal, obviously it ties the game, and you guys had been working on this comeback, but it seemed like you were a little charged. You seemed to be like, let's do this, right?
Yeah, it was huge. Obviously, pull a goalie and 6-on-5 tie the game. That's obviously big goal, and the crowd was absolutely electric. So I felt really good, and obviously cut us tie the game, and then Marty a little later scores
9 seconds later. It was amazing.
That was awesome. I mean, that's that sometimes the crowd goes nuts, and you get so much energy, you feel like you can't get tired. You're just buzzing out there, and obviously you just play. That was good. That was a good goal. Felt good.
Did you think Svech was trying to shoot, or was he trying to pass it to you? And would it have gone in if you didn't touch it?
Definitely a pass.
Definitely pass.
No,
okay.
no. I mean, no. I think it's just that's why you have an extra guy. You pull a goalie, right? And that's kind of sixth guy out there. You don't normally probably don't have a guy sitting back door, and I was there, and obviously, good thing I was there.
I've been saying since really Christmas, you found another gear. But as you know, in your career, it's about what you do now in the playoffs. Do you think you have a tendency to put so much pressure on yourself in these situations? Because even if you don't listen to other people, it's your standard that matters.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. I don't really... That's only... inside of me, that I know that, I set myself, and I'm not talking, obviously that goal feels good. Obviously scoring goals, scoring points feels awesome. But this is the time of the year you just try to do whatever you can to help the team win, right? It could be, I don't know, back check, or it could be, I don't know, killing a penalty, whatever.
I haven't seen Barzal score yet, so... If you're matched up with him.
No, yeah. Well, I know you guys like to talk about matching players.
Yeah.
This is two teams matching against each other. I don't. Okay. And obviously we've been on the good side of it first two games, but that doesn't mean anything going into game three now that everything starts again, right? So it's just a constant, battle, and it's gonna be, you put yourself in their shoes right now. They're gonna come hard. They're gonna play desperate hockey. As where are we gonna do the same thing? We want to go in there and play our best game, right? You want to keep getting better, and you're gonna start on time. You want to, just take day by day. You don't. What happened 2 nights ago won't give us anything in the next game, right? It's just same. We're gonna do the same work again. So you just honestly, especially this time of year, I know it sounds cliche, but you take day by day, and that's
your hockey answer,
right? Exactly, but it's true. It's
right.
That's the only way to go about it.
Did you think you had your best regular season?
Yeah, I do.
See, I don't like when people think I'm taking crazy pills when I point these things out.
Yeah,
I like to be reaffirmed that this is what actually happened.
No, yeah.
But it seems like the progression for you, though.
Yeah, it was.
Again, your standard.
Best of my career. Yeah, I know there were some moments that I could have been a lot better. But that's the, But yeah, overall, I think that was the best regular season. But obviously, that regular season doesn't mean anything right now. You just, I mean, I just mean that we're still playing hockey, right?
But yeah, you had a win to get here, but now it kind of reset.
Nobody thinks about regular season anymore.
Is there a value to playing in a building where you were just last year in the playoffs? When you go see them for these next two games, like in years past, you could sit here and go, "Well, what does it really matter? What happened 5 years ago, 6 years ago?" But like this just happened last year. So, is there some value for you guys going somewhere, there being some sort of familiarity? Because it does seem like it's such a wild variance for the home ice advantage.
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily. Like, I mean, road games are. Obviously, whoever plays home game has a crowd advantage, right? Crowd.
Last shift.
Yeah, last shift. Yeah, little details, but the game is the same. You want to play your own game, another hockey answer. Yeah. But that's another truth. Like, just you don't really change anything playing different buildings. But obviously, that's a good crowd too over there, and it's loud. You gotta love it as a player. It's the why you play. You get the crowd excited. Both teams battling really hard. Both teams don't give an inch out there to each other. So it's a real battle, and you gotta enjoy it as a player.
Last one. Are you superstitious?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I used to be more. I do like to do my routine, but I do have some superstitious stuff.
Can you share what that is? Because I think Rod or man, it might have even been Mo who had the cough drops in a certain pocket.
Oh, well,
Stuff like that. Like, is it little things like that, or is it more of part of whatever your routine might be?
Some things are. How do I put this? I mean,
they're both great.
Let's say,
like, you don't wear the same socks or same undershirt or.
No, that's. I don't know. I feel like if I do like to do some things a certain way, and that's part of being superstitious. But like, I don't freak out if I forget to do something or something like that. But definitely, every single hockey player is superstitious in a way.
I mean, you have to be, right? I mean, that's just the way that it goes. I have found our next contest, by the way.
Okay.
Top golf.
Top golf?
Yeah, to appease not only the big boss.
Are you a golfer?
I am a golfer.
Okay.
But since it's not real golf, like the targets, so I feel like I would have a chance.
Yeah. Are you the guy who brings your own clubs?
No, I wouldn't to Top Golf. No.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Would you frown upon that?
Yeah. Top Golf. That's just another range.
Okay.
You bring your own club.
Also, just so you know,
Top Golf, like that's the element of not.
No, yeah, you're there's an equalizer there.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Ovies wanted to, after the second period, come down and tell you to pretend that the entire other team was made up of me, so that you would just beat them. No matter what it was, you would just beat them at that particular contest. He was ready to motivate you that way. Just pretend they're Giglio.
He was about to come to say that to me.
He wanted to fire you up by saying, "Okay, this is how we'll get him going."
No, trust me, you're all fired up here. Like it's not a lack of fire.
Okay, maybe I'll get something with my face on it that you can look at before you touch.
You're talking like I hate you. Right? It's not like that.
No. You're just motivated to win, though.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a difference.
Yeah, not against you, against everything.
Everybody.
Well,
and I gotta take some of it personal.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah, of course.
I think I caught a little bit of a stray there. at the end with Sebastian Aho. Anyway, appreciate Aho making that time. Let's hope they get things done tonight. That's all I ask. Hi, Dimitri.
Hello, Joe Ovies. How are you?
We got to do some ads first.
Okay.
Got to pay bills.
Okay.
This podcast platforming hosting doesn't pay for itself, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I understand.
It's all good like that. Big thanks to Butcher's Market They've been with us from the jump. We appreciate them. Check them out online, thebutchersmarkets.com. We've been talking a lot about tailgating, and while they've got all sorts of stuff that you can throw on the grill while you're enjoying yourself outside PNC Arena in a parking lot, some of you just don't have time to do all that grilling. No problem. Go to that Lake Boone location, pick up a sandwich or two, and just chill and have a good time. And that's all thanks to the Butcher's Market. Speaking of that Lake Boone location, you got two roosters there as well.
Oh, cacaw.
Lake Boone's like the OG home base.
Yeah.
Like a lot of our corporate champions are based out of that location, so we appreciate that. So let's say you get some sandwiches, and then you can get like a pint of ice cream, and then head on over to the arena. They do some really cool promotions. They've got great rotating flavors. I know on Tuesday they would fill up your tumbler, a Stanley Cup, if you will. And
I could speak from experience. They didn't discriminate. They also filled up Yetis.
That's right. It was just any sort of like 32-ounce or more tumbler.
Did you get an Arctic from Walmart? No problem.
No, those are Ozarks.
Oh, Ozarks.
Yeah, which if I can give away the game
Ozarks from Walmart, of course.
Because I've actually seen YouTubes of this. Somebody did a test with those things. So you got like the Arctic, the Yeti, and the Great Ozarks version, which shout out to Adam Eschball, who's an Ozarks guy from 919 Vice. Shh, don't tell anybody, but the super, super cheap Ozarks held the ice longer than the Yeti.
Yeah.
Just saying. Anyway, that means that the Ozarks will hold your ice cream very, very cold for a very long time at Two Roosters. So again, check them out online at tworoosters.com. I'll be headed out to Garner tonight, and I'll be at Shady's for the first period of Game 3 between the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Islanders, which means I'm going to see the big, glorious Hometown Realty sign out in the G. Check them out, myhtr.com. This market's pretty crazy when it comes to real estate. That's why you don't want to take any sort of guaranteed offer. Guaranteed offer, you're not getting the maximum value.
No.
So what you need to do is go to myhtr.com, buy, sell, calculate. We appreciate them for sponsoring Ovies and Giglio, being a corporate champion for many, many times in this podcast experience. Let's make an announcement. So Dimitri Ravanos, who does the This Team is Killing Us podcast with Lauren Brownlow, is hanging out with us. Hi, Dimitri.
Hello, Joe.
You're a sicko, by the way.
In what?
Doing these mock drafts.
Yeah.
You're a total freaking
I was
sicko.
just telling Lauren by day 4, I realized I'm just doing the same thing over and over again, but people seem to keep clicking on it.
Well, look, mock drafts, man. I mean, that is SEO heavy. Heavy. So I had a radio career where I had not been fired until like 20 some odd years into it.
Right.
And the old saying is in radio, and you've done this because you've done consultant work for Barrett Sports Media, et cetera. They say in this business that your career doesn't actually start until you get fired for the first time. So here I am going, well, damn. I mean, I've been doing radio since I was at WKNC as a freshman at NC State. Got my job part-time at 850 The Buzz and just kept that thing rolling until this time last year.
Right.
So, hey, that's like an almost 25-year pregame?
Yeah.
Preseason?
Yeah.
So I guess I technically started my career last year. Do I have that right?
That's correct. And when you started your career, you texted your old buddy Dimitri, the veteran, who had been down that firing road 3 times.
Old crusty vet Dimitri. Oh, you like which firing do you want to talk about?
That's right.
But that's the nature of this business, and you and I are in a business where people constantly have to evolve, reinvent themselves, come up with whatever is next, which is where we are now with OG Triangle Media, OG Media LLC, and the next content initiative. Look, in order to break through, you have to give people different experiences.
Absolutely.
Obviously, this is a different experience with YouTube and podcasts and all that stuff, but I think community is another important aspect of this. I think sometimes we forget that what makes it work is the listener.
Absolutely.
And in order to connect with listeners, you have to be out. You have to be front and center. You have to find ways to get on their level, which I think we've done in the last year. Very, experimenting with a variety of different things. Obviously, NC State getting to the Final Four helps. The Carolina Hurricanes and their playoff runs, that kind of helps. But we also have to kind of like give back.
Right. We had to think about not just what's next for the listeners, but how many podcast companies have come and gone because they only ever thought of themselves as podcast companies, right?
Yeah.
They were just playing radio in a different form.
Pretty much.
That's right.
This is just a radio show on YouTube. Live podcast.
No, so
Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
So going back to a meeting that the Joes and I had at Sawmill Tap Room, right?
Which I don't even think exists.
Yeah, I was about to say, may she rest in peace.
Yeah.
I said to them that I think the future of this thing is a marketing company disguised as a podcast. And everyone went, yeah, what does that mean? And I said, I don't know. But
let's figure it out, though.
But I knew live events had to be part of it. And I am very happy to have worked with not only Joe and Joe, but also with Hayes Permar from the Rialto, with our friends at Breeze Through. We are bringing something to Raleigh that does not exist anywhere else in the country, and that is the first ever sports podcast festival.
I'm excited about this.
Year one, and that's what I'm calling this, year one. It will feature 3 shows. It will feature our friend Michael Felder and Hand in the Dirt. It will obviously feature Ovies and Giglio, and headlining the night will be the Shutdown Fullcast.
Spencer's coming to Raleigh?
Spencer Hall is coming to experience NC State fans live and in person.
Holly's going to experience
Holly Anderson.
NC State shit?
Holly Anderson, yes, will get a first-hand experience.
Jason Kirk is going to get, well, this is kind of his people. He wrote a book about it.
He did.
He wrote a book about all this.
He is right with the Lord and ready to take whatever that may bring right along with it. But this is something that I knew we wanted to do. I think all 3 of us knew we wanted to do, but we didn't know how, right?
Yeah.
And then it was Hayes offering Ovies the Rialto for a live Ovies and Giglio show that we realized, hang on, that's a 550-seat theater. We need to do so much more.
550 people are not showing up for us.
Exactly.
Look, I'm going to be very, very candid here. I know what our limitations are. Hey, can you, by the way, are you golfing yet?
Not yet.
Why aren't you golfing yet?
You think this 7 is the right club?
I think it's the right club. Go out there and get it. Oh, by the way, while you're out and about, can you get me another highlight pony, please? Thank you, sir. So, I'm going to put Joe to work. Look, I love our listeners.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
I'm good.
I'm very, very happy with the support that we've gotten. But I also, maybe it's imposter syndrome. I don't know. Thank you, sir. I don't know exactly what it might be, but I'm very much of the opinion that there ain't 550 people showing up to the Rialto to hang out with us, right? But I said, now, if we can get another podcast to show up,
right?
Maybe we can get somebody with a little bit more national run, like a really hardcore fan base. Maybe package that together, get people to hang out the Rialto that way. I think we can get a full building.
Yeah.
Shutdown Fullcast is exactly that.
So Joe mentioned my work with Barrett Sports Media. If you haven't heard me on the show before, not in the industry, don't know what it is. It's a consulting firm. We worked with sports radio stations all over the country, but obviously in the 6 years that I worked with them, as we can attest, what sports media was changed, right?
Yes.
So I went to a lot of conferences on a lot of different things involving sports, involving media, involving radio, involving podcasts. There was nothing that was sports podcast specific. And I know that sounds like a very small niche, but I promise you it's not.
No, not with Shutdown Fullcast.
No. So
niche podcast that they are.
August 24th, I have a sticker on my laptop here that reads that is the Shutdown Fullcast sticker. So August 24th at the Rialto.
Yeah.
Tickets go on sale May 25th through eTix. Okay. In the meantime, I need you all to follow on social media for updates. Sports Pod Fest. At Sports Pod Fest, both on Instagram and on Twitter. As new corporate champions join us for that endeavor. As new parts of that are added. Because there's something that there's a secondary party coming that is going to be a part of that as well. You'll find out all the updates there. But the point of announcing this on this show is that it's something that I knew I wanted to do and I didn't know how. And Ovies is kind of the one that gave me the push to say, are we doing this or are we not? And so it was...
Put a pin in that.
Yeah.
Put a pin in that.
So it was Ovies giving me that push. and then taking my kids to the Rialto to see the Muppet Christmas Carol. And within a week, we had started sending emails about if we're doing this, would you be here?
Yeah. No, look, Hayes has a really nice situation over at the Rialto. It's a really nice setup. We were there for the Elite Eight game against Duke, for NC State and Duke, and people were just hanging out, having a good time. And I know that Hayes tonight, if you're watching this live, Hayes tonight is going to have Game 3 of the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Islanders. But I think one of the things that I was intrigued by and why I'm really, really happy that Shutdown Fullcast is coming here is that, and I'll tap into your Barrett Sports Media Consulting stuff, I think there's a misunderstanding of this market.
Yeah.
And a misunderstanding in this market in terms of just how devoted or into sports they might be. And it's not a major market. I think most people in our business think Northeast Corridor, one, or, basically it's a monolithic town where they've got one NFL team, one NBA team, one NHL team. Unless it's New York, you got multiple teams. And it's like everybody rides for that team. They live and die by that team. I will use Philly as an example because I've spent an unfortunate amount of time listening to WIP. I'll be straight. I'll admit, like the other Joe Giglio, and I remember driving up, visiting Kelly's family, and listening to Joe Giglio, and they were talking about the Sixers nonstop. They're talking about they're rehashing Eagles shit. I'm like, okay, but I get it. It's a different market. It's a totally different market. And I think what ends up happening here in our market is that there's this misunderstanding as people come to it that they try to like rubber stamp, well, this is how it is in other places.
Right.
It's not.
Right.
And you had to learn this.
I did. I mean, listen, this is one of the reasons that I started working with Joe and Joe is, and Joe helped me realize this when I was working with Mike and Lauren at the Buzz.
Yeah.
Dude, Raleigh's just not my sports market. It's not my place to talk sports. And this is what the Triangle is as a market is. Not a lot of people give up their fandoms when they get here, but like anywhere else, the majority of people are from here. The majority of people want to talk about Duke State Carolina basketball.
Yes.
They want to talk about the Canes.
It's not a part-time thing like Alabama basketball, Dimitri.
That's right. That's right. We show up every 3-4 years.
It's like, oh, did you show up to the Final Four? Cool.
You mean, I'm sorry, are you talking about the sport played during winter football season?
Exactly. Yeah. Alabama getting to the Final Four is like oh, that's great for Nate Oates. For NC State fans, it's like, I've been waiting my entire life for this. And
Joe knows this is not an exaggeration.
No.
I was actually annoyed by the fact I got into the Final Four because I wanted my weekends back.
Right. But I bring this up to illustrate that when you've lived here for X amount of time, it finally clicks. I was actually talking to somebody who's in our business recently. I'm not going to name them. And they admitted that the first 2 years that they lived here and they listened to me and Adam, they're like, what the hell are you guys talking about all the time?
Yeah.
And after about 2 years, it finally clicked and he got into it. He's like, oh, I get it. It's multiple fan bases,
right?
Multiple interests. I'm just as interested in what my team is doing as much as I am what they're doing. And not like a rivalry of, oh, well, the Chicago Bears are doing this, so Green Bay Packers fans are fascinated by what they're doing. It's not the same thing, that they're literally in the same cubicle farm with this Carolina fan or State fan or Duke fan or Wake Forest fan. So all of this is a long-winded way of saying that Shutdown Fullcast is like the pinnacle of lifestyle. Gets overused. But if you're into college football,
right?
If you're into college athletics, there's a particular language, cadence, lifestyle that professional towns or people who have not lived in the South don't understand.
Absolutely.
And I love that they have been able to do this for as long as they've been able to do it, and that they're going to be coming here because as much as people love the SEC and all this stuff, this is a sneaky good college football town.
It's a really good college football town because the other part of it is if you don't care about Duke State, Carolina, and extended, right? Wake, ECU, App. If you don't care about any of them, as I don't, it doesn't mean you're alone.
Hey, App State fans, ECU fans. That was Dimitri saying that.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Well, no, I mean, but I'm also saying it to Carolina fans, State fans.
I know.
Your adorable little minor league football conference is great. No, I mean, like,
Alabama's going to learn.
I don't think they are.
No, they're going to learn. They're going to learn.
We are proudly stubborn.
They're going to learn, dude.
Listen, Mike Dubow's won an SEC championship. Anything is possible for anyone
that's a fair
there.
Point.
But yeah, I mean, the key is exactly what Joe said. We were looking for shows that we thought reasonably overlapped with our audience. And also everybody knew each other well enough that it will certainly Hand in the Dirt will have its own time. Ovies and Giglio will have its own time. Shutdown Fullcast will have its own time. But it's 3 shows with guys that know each other well enough that we could have, Mr. Roper pop by.
I like it. All right. So details again for this?
August 24th at the Rialto.
Yes.
Tickets go on sale May 25th. In the meantime, at Sports Pod Fest, both on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay. Because I don't even know these details.
Yeah. I just put it all together. Literally, this all got finalized yesterday. And by the way, the official name, Sports Podcast Festival, presented by Breeze Through. Our friends at Breeze Through are absolutely the reason this is able to happen.
Yeah, no, Adam and the crew over at Breeze Through have come through in a big way. I said I was going to put a pin in something, and then I was pushing you to do something.
It was something about my time at Barrett Sports Media.
No. I think it has more to do with the fact that
you had to shove me in the direction of getting started on it.
I feel like I have to do that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Like you're very much in the mode of everything has to be in its right place before you even move forward. I'm not trying to do therapy.
I was about to say, I already had therapy this morning.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yeah.
Good for you. I should probably get into that. But some guys would rather go to nice price books and sound off and flip through records than go to therapy. That's me. But the difference between you and me is I'm very much a fuck it, let's go.
Well,
you like to have all your ducks in a row.
I'm very much a fuck it, let's go to a certain extent. But I do feel like, especially with something like this, man, you only get one shot at a first impression.
No, you're right.
Our goal is that this becomes, or I guess that week 0 of college football becomes a week that sports fans know they need to be enrolled.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I am with you on that. All right, well, I'm excited about this, dude.
Yeah,
I'm very excited about this. All right, are you ready to go? Are you ready to be depressed about like sicko mock draft action?
Oh, dog, I've been doing it so long it has no effect on me anymore.
Lauren, Brownlow, are you ready to talk some like mock draft stuff? All right, let's do this. All right, before we actually get started on this,
look at us, just a couple of fellas.
Just guys being dudes. Just guys being dudes. Big thanks to Matt Davis over at State Farm. Check him out online at SureGarner.com, theoginsurance.com, or call him directly at 919-779-8277. You can save money on your insurance.
I don't have my card.
You don't have your card?
The Matt Davis card.
We need to talk to Matt Davis about our own insurance, by the way. We got to talk about that.
You wanted to have a meeting today. Somebody wanted to have a meeting today. It's my birthday. We're not having meetings.
I mean, in a weird sort of way, we did have a meeting.
We did. Hi, Rusty. Hi, Adam.
Can I be honest with you real quick?
Yeah.
When I came up earlier, when I got here and I said happy birthday to Giglio, I was talking about the show. I totally forgot it was your actual birthday.
Birthday.
Like, wow, they really did fire you on the day after your birthday. You're fucking awesome. All right.
So save money. Go to State Farm. Go to InsureGarner.com. Call them 919-779-8277. When I get home today, I'm very excited because I got some Roback. Roback continues to deliver stuff to me, Joe. Are you ever going to get your Roback? I did not steal your Roback, but Roback is in the house, and you can use the promo code OG20 to save 20% off your order. I've got the everyday shorts. I realized that I'm a big boy now, and I had to upgrade from a large to an extra large. Hey, high five for big boy status. So I had to go from large to extra large. I got the gym shorts here, too. I'm really excited about that coming through. And you can use the promo code OG20. I've been talking up the shorts, the joggers. Giglio talks up the polos. They have incredible designs. They have an Alabama design.
Oh, I know. I've seen.
But you're not a polo guy.
You're
polo
like
guy.
Me. Yeah.
You're like me. I don't do polo, but joggers, like comfy pants, like I'm all about that.
I'll go t-shirt, and as Lauren has made fun of me before, I'll go Western snap shirt all day long.
Well, look at you. You should get with BJ Barham. We talked to him about old school pearl snap shirts in the that are like back popular. Nature's Relief Hemp Store. We thank them for sponsoring this podcast. A corporate champion that has just jumped on. Western Boulevard location just had their grand opening event on 420. So go check them out. They got locations across the triangle. More importantly, and I'm going to bring Brownlow in here. Hi, Lauren.
Hi. I was going to say, I actually really love Nature's Relief, like legit.
Here's the thing about
my favorite.
So here's the thing about Nature's Relief that you can speak to.
Yeah.
You've been out of the state.
Yeah.
You'll pick up some fun stuff.
Yes.
And then you're like, well, how can I get that here? They'll answer those questions for you.
Oh.
That's very important.
That's clutch.
That's very, very clutch. But also, look, if you're just looking to chill, if you're looking for better, deeper sleep like I am, you're looking for anxiety, or if you're like Giglio, you got like neck issues and you need some sort of roll-on, Nature's Relief can answer those questions for you. So check them out online, naturesreliefhempstore.com. Relief is spelled like a tree leaf.
Why?
You know why.
Oh, yeah.
RELEAF. naturesreliefhempstore.com. You ready to depress yourself talking about the Panthers? All right, so Lauren Brownlow's hanging out here. Let me change the background on this thing. Have you watched any of Dimitri's ridiculous mock drafts on YouTube?
I mean, I have seen them, and they are great.
Wow, that is like the biggest bless your heart, sweetie.
No,
You're doing great, Dimitri. You're doing great,
I love
sweetie.
That he's doing. I am enthusiastically retweeting. He is crushing it.
It's
I
true.
mean that sincerely. Do
Uh-huh.
I consume much draft content as a general rule, particularly after a rigorous Final Four where I still feel a little bit like I need a little break? No, I don't. And also, why get excited about anyone I want the Panthers to draft when they'll just fill me up with sads in a couple hours?
That's what was so tough about doing these mock drafts is they definitely need a wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
They definitely need a center, right?
Yes.
They might be in range to take the best center in the draft, whether you think that's Graham Barton or Jackson Powers Johnson. They might be in range because they might go not till the second round. There are 4 game-changing receivers that the Panthers have no prayer in hell of landing.
And who are they?
I would go Marvin Harrison Jr., Roma
I don't know who that is.
and
He's
even
there.
Bryant Thomas Jr., who's a click
what you
below
did.
those guys, but is better than where the Panthers are going to be picking.
All right, Lauren, I have to. You are a little bit on the off mic here,
and we're stalling.
No, we're not stalling. I just have to correct. It's
He,
not
he
proper-
knows he can't trust me to do that.
It's all
I
about
will break it.
It's all about proper microphone placement. You should appreciate
I'll
that.
break it.
You should appreciate that, Dimitri. So here's the thing, and I asked this of Lauren earlier before we got going today. The right thing to do for the Carolina Panthers is for them to just wait tomorrow.
Yeah.
It is as it has been labeled a deep wide receiver draft.
Yeah.
Okay. And you need a good wide receiver. So they'll fall to you, theoretically, right? I think Xavier Leggett is the guy that most people seem to be talking about, right?
Yeah.
But are the Panthers going to find themselves? Let's say it's like fantasy drafts. There's a run.
Yeah.
I got to do, oh my goodness, I got to do something.
He's not doing it. Hang on.
What am I not doing? No, where's the chat? The chat's right here.
Oh, let me see.
What are you looking for?
Just hold your phone. You do it the wrong way.
Do you want to participate? Do you want to participate in the show or
That's the
not?
nicest thing someone said to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's right there.
Listen, I'm just wearing skirts with pockets now. That's my
That's
wardrobe.
your move. That's your move.
I'm moving. That's fair. I appreciate
Hey,
that.
I just appreciate Joe participating in the podcast after the first 15 minutes. Yeah, I know.
To be fair,
no, I know it's his birthday. Let him
we all
live.
understood that.
Let him live. I knew how today was going to go.
Yeah.
That being said,
yeah,
my concern is a team that has constantly wasted picks or it's backfired on them, and you've seen this compounding problem over the last 3 years. They'll do it again.
Yeah.
Lord knows.
It's like the Goofy move, the Goofy meme. It's like I'll do it again. I'll do it again. I'll move up when I shouldn't have to. I'll do it again.
Yeah.
So Lauren knows I love Xavier Leggett of South Carolina. That's in the range of guys we can reasonably expect the Panthers to get. I think he is best case scenario.
Agree. Yeah.
But man, A.D. Mitchell from Texas is really, really good. Really good. Not quite Brian Thomas, but same skill set. I could see them panicking. And
the Panthers?
You're right.
What?
I could see them panicking. And I did this on my mock draft because it was the first time I really looked at this. At 27, Arizona has their second pick of the night.
Okay.
I could see them look to trade out of that. And if you look at what's right behind that, Buffalo, wide receiver needy. Baltimore, wide receiver needy. Detroit could take a wide receiver. San Francisco could take a wide receiver. Kansas City, wide receiver needy. I could see Dan Morgan panicking and throwing too much at Arizona to get that 27th pick.
I mean, to me, the best thing about your mocks is the fact that you think about all of this in detail instead of just being like, here's my big board.
Yeah.
You know, like you're like, what might this trade be?
Yeah.
Or like, what might this team be feeling in this spot? I think that's great.
Yeah. I mean, to me,
it matters.
If you are the Panthers, you have to kind of hope that one of two things has to happen. Either that run on receivers has to happen before you're in a range, comfortable trading up.
Because once somebody starts and like somebody follows, they're all going to, it's like, that's how
I'll
they
tell
go.
you one position we're going to see a run tonight. We're going to see someone take the first from that group of left tackles that is underneath the kid out of Penn State and the kid out of Notre Dame.
Yep.
I think we're going to see a run of like 4 or 5 tackles in a row go. If that happens at receiver before like pick 25, that would be good because Dan Morgan can say, okay, we're locked into Xavier Legette, Ladd McConkey, whatever, or hey, there's more value for us right now to go get Jackson Powers Johnson or Graham Barton.
Every time I hear McConkey, I just think of Greedo in the remixed version of A New Hope.
Why is that?
Well, because doesn't he say like, what does Greedo say in like the weird revamped version of A New Hope?
Oh, I don't. I'm still.
He
stuck
says
on...
like McClunky or something. I just hear McConkey. I'm like, oh, Han Solo's about to shoot him.
Like here's the problem with Ladd McConkey is we don't have Bill Belichick anymore to take him at number 3. Like that could be the best case scenario.
I thought you were going to say the 2 Ds in the name.
It's funny you brought up Bill Belichick because he's going to be doing stuff with McAfee.
Yes.
Right. And I was listening to Bomani Jones and Dominic Foxworth on their podcast. They're,
I know those guys.
They're pre-draft spectacular where I think they did their best to not talk about the draft. But I think there's there's 2 industry issues here. And I think a lot of people are pushing back on the lead up to the draft because it's over the top.
Yeah.
It's just completely over the top.
Also, it's just so dumb. Like every story is dumb. Half the time they're lying to us. Every team is floating some ridiculous thing and expecting us to stop gaslighting us. We're no longer stupid.
As I say, you remember when we were told like, oh, don't be surprised if Mac Jones goes right after Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Well,
ridiculous.
So there's three things to this, right? So there's finishing my thought on listening to Bomani and Dominique today when I was driving around. And they were talking about Bill Belichick's relationship with Pat McAfee. Like, oh, hey, he's doing like the Pat McAfee show. Like, that's kind of weird, right? No, it's not. Nick Saban did McAfee's show. What do Nick Saban and Bill Belichick do? They're boys.
Yeah, they go to concerts together.
And they're fellow curmudgeons.
They're curmudgeons.
I mean that affectionately.
Yeah.
And they're on a show that's not going to challenge them.
Right.
Which is most importantly, because I saw this the other day where you had this big post-mortem on Belichick's offseason and not getting a job.
Oh, sure.
And Belichick was on with McAfee that day, and not a single question was asked about that ESPN report.
Right.
On a show that's on ESPN.
Right.
That's exactly what Bill Belichick wants. Don't overthink this.
Yeah.
This is not something to overthink. But that being said,
I was more excited by the fact he's going on the Manning cast.
there is that. But to your point, Lauren, about the gaslighting aspect of it, I feel like this is what's happening with Drake May.
Absolutely.
Yes, 100%.
I am
NFL
convinced.
teams love guys that are like Drake May.
Yes!
They are addicted to them.
So
They
why
can't
is
get
he
enough.
sliding?
He's not. It'll be fine.
Thank you.
Okay, so
I think the Giants are going to move up and get him.
They love quarterbacks.
I don't think we can say for sure Washington is taking Jaden Daniels.
Washington is still
I
Washington.
mean, and if
They were
I'm Drake
dumb.
May, I might say good.
I mean, listen.
Right. If I'm Drake May, I'm like, you take Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, really.
Okay,
Jaden
I want to
is
go to
great.
Minnesota. I want to throw to Justin Jefferson. Or if you're the Giants, you're like, oh, okay, maybe you move up and get him.
If I'm Drake May, I'm like sending anonymous bad reports about myself to Washington. Like, please don't.
When do you think that pick number 3 is where we're going to see someone just rush to get Drake May?
Yes.
You know how they are they panic about quarterbacks.
I think that New England is going to stay there and take May themselves.
No.
Why not?
Well, maybe.
No.
I can see it.
Okay, here's where it's interesting.
They've already gotten rid of Mac Jones. They don't even have an actual body to put out there at quarterback right now.
What podcast was I listening to where I was listening to First Things First with Nick Wright and the crew, right?
Yeah.
And they brought up the fail son aspect of the Kraft family.
Yeah.
And how Jonathan Kraft is now involved with the Patriots draft. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, they're going to do something stupid like take JJ McCarthy, aren't they?
Well, I mean, here's the thing, right?
I don't know.
No, I think that's what's going to happen.
No, I mean,
because everything in the report, all the stuff that's been reported about the Patriots has been and we've seen this. Oh, you thought Bill Belichick was the architect? Well, did you see how the last couple of years have gone?
we'll show you.
Yeah.
We've had these ideas, and Big Bad Bill just wouldn't let us.
Yeah.
So now that's what's going to happen, and they're going to do something stupid like take McCarthy.
I mean, I don't think taking McCarthy is stupid. I do think taking McCarthy when you have May available to you is stupid.
Right.
I see.
Right.
I see.
I think that we are going to learn very quickly that maybe Jim Harbaugh is not a great coach of quarterbacks.
That's what I mean. You have a
What
point.
did I hear today? What was it? Trading Herbert and bringing McCarthy?
I would not be shocked in the least. It would be crazy, but I would not be shocked in the least.
Oh, that would be like peak Jim.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
This is from UNC marching band legend Paul Beam. How does Ovies have enough time to listen to all these podcasts? Y'all don't understand how.
Are you a
dad life-
1.5 speed?
No,
Thank
I'm
you.
not.
I
I'm
do.
Not.
Do
I'm
you?
not.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not.
can't.
The,
You have to get used to it.
Yeah.
the reason why I'm able to listen to all these podcasts is because now that I have more free time, I don't have like an impending 3:00 deadline looming over me at all times. I'm spending a lot of time doing like dad life carpool.
Oh, dude.
That's where all the
I was
podcast
gonna say you're in the car a lot more.
I am in the car a hell of a lot.
If I am not on my bike or in the studio, I am probably in my car at this point.
And poor Kyle Bailey probably hates it that when I go on my stupid walks for my stupid mental health in the afternoon, I'm like air checking him. He hates that shit.
Hey, that used to be my job.
I know.
He really does hate that shit.
No, he hates that shit. Like I'll be listening in like the 4:00 hour. I'm like, well, actually, he'll eventually text me back, but it is what it is. Anyway,
You did a show. You know how annoying that is.
but I'm able to do it.
Just saying.
I'm able to listen to other afternoon shows in other markets now, including Charlotte,
Yeah.
and see what they're talking about with the Panthers.
What is
and
what
how
is-
everybody hates the Panthers.
What is the most unique air check note you've ever gotten from a boss?
From a boss?
Yeah.
I feel like I should know comment.
Well, there was what's the dude? Actually, it's funny. A mutual friend of ours. We were talking about this the other day. Who was the guy who had like a binder full of ideas? Was it Rick something? I can't
I
remember his last name.
Scott.
Rick Scott. Thank
Yep.
you. I'll never forget when this was like back in 2010.
Yeah.
Rick Scott came through. He did like an air check of it, and he just straight up looked at us. And I'm thinking like, this cost the company so much money.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, your content's good. Your formatics though. That was it. It's like, oh, okay. So the thing that matters is fine, but you want to get on us about like coming out of a break,
Right.
you know, hitting a promo, like really easy stuff to fix. We're like, it was like the most like, I mean, they paid me already, so I'm just letting y'all know your show's fine. Like,
Yeah.
it's good shit. But you just got to clean up like the formatics.
Yeah.
That was easily my favorite consultant air check of all time.
If you've been in the Triangle for a while and remember when I was on 96 Rock before the sports show,
The old Salt Dimitri show.
That's right. Who I talked to, by the way, the other night, and he's very excited that the Canes are in the draft or in the playoffs, and wants to know why we're not being forced to show up there without a paycheck.
Is he still up in Boston?
He is in Hartford now.
In Hartford?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll give you that story off air.
R.I.P. to Salt.
But in between those two things, I briefly did political talk,
Oh.
which I was not built for.
No,
Okay. But at one point, my boss, it's on an AM frequency,
oh boy.
says, obviously, you're going to be a lot younger than the people listening.
Yeah.
So just don't talk about your age. There's no reason to talk about your age.
I
said, okay, I get it. And then on 9/11, he wanted me to tell a personal story.
Oh,
and I said, well, I was in English 104. How do I not tell people my age when I talk about this? And he said, and I quote, creativity is the lifeblood of radio.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's not the worst lesson about radio.
As Ken points out, consultants have to find something to note on the report to justify the bill. You know this.
I was about to say, yeah, we do.
You know this.
I don't think I ever got consultant-id when we had our radio show.
We got pretend consultanted.
I got air checked.
Yeah.
Look, shout out to the life coach. He knows who he is. But when it was all said and done, he did admit, he's like, yeah, no, I had to like justify the whole
Yes,
experience.
shout
I
out
was
to
like,
him.
All right, no,
Shout out to that guy.
Well, shout out to the life coach.
That's what I'm saying.
No, life coach is fine. I love the life coach.
Uh-huh.
No. I'm being serious.
Oh, I am too. I'm very serious.
There's only one of the three of us at this table that he openly told, I don't like you two.
No, there's not.
I mean, there was a consultant who once said to Adam Gold, "Yeah, ditch Ovies because like you have experience.
Yeah.
You're XYZ. You've lived life. What does he know? He's young. All this
You've lived a life."
Now, to Gold's credit, Gold did tell the consultant, "Yeah, you see, but Joe keeps me young,
right?
And that's kind of important." And yeah, that's the here over there. But anyway, where were we? We got a weird radio.
I was going to say, I was like, don't get me started on being air checked because I'll have
we were talking about the Panthers. We were talking about the Panthers. Tell you what, let me hold on a second. We got to pay one more bill.
Okay.
And then we're going to start wrapping these
Lightning
up
power.
here. So hold on just a second. Series that's coming to, we got the FC series that's coming to Keenan on July 23rd. Last year, you'll remember that it was Chelsea and Wrexham. Now,
I was there.
Wrexham had that built in.
It was awesome.
Right. And they're going to be doing it again with Man City, which I think we all understand who Man City is, along with Celtic.
My son and I argue about this all the time.
No, this is a thing.
The Boston Celtics. We all know that.
Yeah, this is a thing that's argued about. To Brownlow's point, yes, you have the Boston Celtics.
Right.
So I've heard Celtic FC, but I've heard Celtic FC as well.
So
and they won a whole bunch of Scottish League championships.
Here's what's confusing about it. Is I believe Scottish people say Celtic FC. What is confusing is they should be the ones insisting it is Celtic FC.
Why should they be insisting that?
That's where it's Celtic.
So now you went last year to the Keenan event. It was sold out.
Sold out.
Now, the thing that I try to express to people about this FC series, you can get tickets at fcseries.com, and the proceeds from this event do go to UNC Children's Hospital. Last year, with the Wrexham Chelsea event, they raised over $150,000 for UNC Children's Hospital. It's about the experience. It's about people wearing scarves in the middle of July North Carolina heat.
Right.
Couldn't be me.
No, that couldn't be me either. And Dimitri, you look like a sweater. So
I smell like one too.
Gee.
You also have the chest hair that's kind of like a sweater. But that's another issue entirely. Look, he used to do promo shirtless, Brownlow.
Sure.
You don't think I know that?
Yeah, I know you know
I was about to
that.
say it was for Lauren's show.
Exactly.
Yes.
But it's the people all gathered around walking to the stadium, the chants, everything else. It's a full-on experience.
Dude, Wrexham put on like a fan fest in Chapel Hill last year. It was a blast.
So go to fcseries.com and you can get your tickets today. Again, that's going to be taking place on Tuesday, July 23rd. Again, that's Tuesday, July 23rd. All right, we'll get out of here on some Hey Joe from Michael. Is this live or Memorex? No, it's live, folks. Thursdays are live. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's a premiere on YouTube. On Thursdays, we do that thing live, okay? From Matt, congrats on a year. Yeah, no, it's been quite the experience. From Lee, congratulations, Joe and Joe. All the best. No, we appreciate that. From Paul, Canes need to bane the Islanders tonight. Yes, you're right. We got to get out of here on that thing. All right, here's a question that I wanted to get to because, Dimitri, you're the movie guy.
Okay.
Has anybody else watched Draft Day the night before the draft besides me?
Oh, I was considering that. I legit was because I heard it's horrible and I want to have that. I like watching bad movies.
I have never watched Draft Day with Kevin Costner.
Really?
I've never watched it. My understanding is that it's completely terrible.
Yes, that's what I've heard. But that's great.
But as with things that are bad,
They're
over
funny.
time, it becomes almost like a cult classic.
Yeah.
And I've seen more than like a couple of people point out on social media watching Draft Day ahead of the draft.
I might like
Joe even has a mug from draft from
But
Draft
is it
Day.
like
Does it
funny
say
bad?
Vontae Mack no matter what?
I mean,
Is that what it says?
It could be funny bad, and then I would.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
No,
funny
here's
bad.
the thing.
Is it funny bad?
As Giglio will attest to, if you have watched a second of NFL football, you will know none of this would happen. Spoiler alert.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a moment where Kevin Costner trades 3 second-round picks for the 6th pick of the draft.
No, that would never happen. That
There's
gets
a
you
moment
fired. That gets
where
you
Kevin
fired.
Costner, again, spoiler alert, with the number 1 pick, takes a linebacker.
No, well, I
And then
mean-
with the 7th pick, takes a running back.
Ooh.
And you know why he took the linebacker number 1? Because no one else wanted him at number 1. Because the linebacker asked him to.
So hold up. Isn't this the movie where somebody dropped because nobody showed up to their birthday party?
Yes, that's right.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that was a thing. Like, well, what does it say?
I think you will all appreciate this.
Yeah.
Do you know what the character's background was that no one came to his birthday party?
I don't know.
He was a quarterback at Wisconsin.
Oh, so it was Russell Wilson?
So he was not like a Russell
to be
Wilson.
fair, I could see.
Yeah, he was not a Russell Wilson caricature at all. It just dawned on me the significance of him being a
Wisconsin quarterback.
at Wisconsin.
Yeah, because I think that's like the last thing. There's two lasting legacies of Draft Day, the movie.
Yeah.
One of them is the who showed up to the birthday party. That tells you just how much of a leader he is. And then there was the Panthers last year with Bryce Young moving to the number 1 pick to draft back. Is that part of the storyline of Draft Day?
It is.
Okay.
It is. They move up to number 1.
That makes me feel sick.
Thinking they want the quarterback who no one came to his birthday party.
Oh.
And then they start trying to trade back, but they end up with a 1 and a 6 because they have 3 number 2s somehow.
I see. From Justin on the YouTube chat, this all sounds like something Tepper would do. It was there for
That's
him
what I'm
last
saying.
year.
By the way,
The birthday party thing, like I've heard dumber reasons.
Like here is the reason that like the sign of if you watch a lot of movies, you know, oh, this is a bad sports movie. Is at one point Jennifer Garner lovingly puts her hands on Kevin Costner's chest and says, "What I love about you is you see things no one else does."
Oh my god!
Wow. Joe? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a blood.
A what? Another seltzer?
Blood. Same one.
Same one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very consistent today.
Good for you. At some point, you're going to golf? Have you not golfed yet?
I've been hitting some shots.
Can no one else
He's
golf?
just been kind of carrying around the golf club.
I know. That's what I'm wondering. Is that golf club supposed to stay there?
I think
it's a power move, to be honest.
I think Giglio just used the golf thing to just get out of doing the podcast today.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I
convinced
mean,
that's
to be
what
fair,
happened.
he saw a golf. I mean, he was lost the moment that was here.
No, I know.
Like,
I know
come
that's the
on.
case.
It's like a baby
It's
with keys.
like a dog seeing a squirrel or whatever. Like he's gonna be gone.
That's a good point from Paul. Never forget Trubisky was drafted because he drove an old car.
Oh,
because it showed he was humble.
Oh my God!
And then now the Bears are saying about Drake May, well, we don't want Drake May because he's just another Trubisky, as though I watched both quarterbacks and that couldn't be further from reality.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you have the first pick, I've never understood this about the NFL draft. For some reason, if you have the first pick, you can't just come out and say, yeah, we're drafting Caleb Williams because he's Caleb fucking Williams. Like,
Right.
we're
Yeah.
not going to do a smoke screen on this.
Yeah, and it's like, again, you have multiple weeks.
It's so dumb.
You have multiple weeks to talk about
Sometimes
things.
they used to do that. Didn't they? Like teams used to come out and be like, "This is who we're taking."
This is who we're taking.
I
right?
liked that because I'm tired of this other bullshit.
Well, you talk about the bullshit. We've seen plenty of bullshit in terms of. So Jaden Daniels has been the center of. I guess they could. Chicago fans or media could not make Caleb Williams painting his nails a reason to not draft him.
Right
Now
That
it's because he's like Gen Z and cries.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Y'all
Whatever.
go to therapy.
Did you see
It's
the quote
cheaper.
about someone saying it's like if Prince was a quarterback in this draft?
Well, you know what? If Prince delivers like Prince delivers, guess who's going to be a
That's
big
what
Prince fan?
I was telling this. I was saying this on South Carolina radio yesterday. That
Yeah.
is their way of saying he's going to be awesome. He's going to fuck a lot, but man, he seems effeminate.
Who cares?
Right.
Which then gets us to Jaden Daniels and the whole business of, well, he didn't want to show up to the Top Golf.
Right.
Like, what is this crap? And, Drake May was like, cool, Top Golf, which
Yeah,
makes
I mean that's
so much.
that tracks.
That's so tracks. That
Yeah.
so tracks for a Charlotte guy who went to Carolina. Totally tracks that he was spending time on A.E. Finley, right? So anyway, so there's that aspect of it. And then the other part of this that kind of cracks me up with Jaden Daniels is I don't want to go to Washington.
Yeah.
Cool. Washington doesn't care.
Yeah.
That ship has sailed with all that stuff. Unless you have
Well-
a name that matters, like a Manning,
Right.
nothing, you're not going to get away with trying to maneuver the draft and get out of it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to draft somebody that didn't want to be on my team personally, but it's
Yeah,
not like Washington hasn't done anything dumber before.
As
so.
James points out, Carson Wentz got drafted because he and Reich love the same Bible verse. And that is true.
I swear, this makes me want to become a sports agent, get a quarterback client, and be like, sell your car, get a beat up,
Yeah.
used like a minivan,
Yeah.
and
Get a
say
co-
it's because you want to pick up disadvantaged children in your free time and
get an El Camino.
spend time with them like a Big Brother program.
Do you have a cell phone? Get rid of it. You're communicating by a carrier
You're
pigeon
getting a
only
flip
now.
phone.
Oh no, you're a BlackBerry.
You're
guy.
getting a BlackBerry or a flip
sure.
phone.
No, Motorola Razr.
There you go.
That's where we're at.
Like
Philip
100%.
Rivers drove a Taurus. Yes, that's a very sensible car for a dad. That makes a lot of sense. From Matt, Mario Williams drove a moped. He did until he got to the NFL and he had a very loud Lamborghini.
Which, like, good for, like, to me, if I see your loud Lamborghini, I'm like, signed. Like,
Really?
Well, I mean, like, honestly,
I mean,
I'm like, you're a guy who knows what, like, you want to do cool things with your money, and you're not fake humble. The fake humble of it all is too much.
I hate fake
That's
humble.
what I'm saying.
But here's the thing. Like, I think that Ed Tepper's a really good example of this, and God willing, Dan Morgan is not. I hate people that think about, would I want to hang out with this guy
Exactly.
as a draft pick?
Who cares?
Because you're not going to hang out with the guy.
No. You should worry more about, do the guys in your locker room want to hang out with that guy?
More importantly, like, if you look at someone, and this is like the thing that's always bugged me about like May, December romances, how do you not look at 40-something years old at someone who's 20 and not think everything that comes out of your mouth is going to be dumb as hell?
Steely Dan wrote a song about that. It's called Hey 19.
Oh, sure.
We got nothing in common.
Hey, how do we feel about Steely Dan? They blow, right? Like, they're
here.
just the fucking worst.
Get out of here. You're off the podcast. The podcast festival is canceled.
Oh, man.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, enjoy your gray ponytail.
Thank you. No. So I was going to say something to get out of here because I thought it was a good transition point. Oh, it was the Jaden Daniels Top Golf thing because we've all been in this situation. The people who are trying to get on Jaden Daniels about not participating or not wanting to participate in this Top Golf thing strike me as the people that you used to work with in a large company that loved every single one of those company of like network, like those big events, like the big team
mandated camaraderie.
Right. Man, like, no, I'm here. Like, to your point, Lauren, are you good or are you not?
Right.
Cool. All right. I don't care if I want to hang out with you. I'm like, you can help me win games. Cool.
Yeah.
And the Jaden Daniels thing
you're right.
comes right down to, I don't know. I don't know if he wants to participate in the team mandated events.
I mean, to be
like the work mandated events, like
to be fair, like
Listen, corporate
a
wants us to
quarterback
have
that
fun today,
doesn't want to golf
like
would ring alarm bells. For
like, what do you mean he doesn't want to show up for the sheet cake every month to celebrate all the
Right.
birthdays? It's just sheet cake. What's the
Yeah.
big deal, right? I'm okay with that. Like, I relate to that. Like, I relate to Jaden Daniels. Like, okay, so I have nothing in common with you people. I'm just here to work. I'm not here to vibe.
You're going to be at this all-day golf tournament in mid-July, right?
Right?
Oh God,
Oh,
I
no.
guess. And then you dread it for like, oh, that's just me. Sorry.
Oh, that's
I
just
said
you?
I'm saying too much.
No, I found my way out of that by just saying, how about I just drive around in a golf cart?
Yeah, you see,
Yeah, that's
you
what I
cheated
did
the system because like I got like hustled into it. They're like, hey, we'd really love it if you played. Everybody's playing, cool, but no one's playing. I'm out there playing with like gold.
Did
and
you ever have
sweating my
a
ass off, and I'm like grumpy the entire time where you're riding around in a golf
Yeah,
cart.
I had one of those tournaments
Finally, I
where
got
I
on
rolled
your hustle, but-
rode around in a golf cart, and you were out, Lauren, already getting ready to have your kid at this point. But
Yes.
I rode around in a golf cart in one of those courses. It's in the middle of the neighborhood, and I had to call the life coach and say, I don't know where I am. No, I'm sorry, not the life coach. The who is old leather cups.
What, Dennis?
We know.
Yeah.
Oh.
I had to call him and say, can you come pick me up?
Not leather cups.
Yeah, he had leather cups.
He had leather
know
cups.
that.
Yeah, I know he had leather cups. Shout out to Dennis. All right, that's going to wrap it up for our OG Live. Big thanks to Sleek Fleet. Check them out online, sleek-fleet.com. If you're just tuning in, you might have missed the announcement. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But a reminder, we've got a podcast festival taking place week 0 at the Rialto. We're going to be there. Shutdown Fullcast is going to be there. Hand in the Dirt with Michael Felder is going to be there. And tickets are going to go on sale May 25th.
May 25th through eTix. In the meantime, at Sports Pod Fest on Instagram and Twitter. It's the first one in the country, the Sports Podcast Festival, presented by our friends at Breeze Through.
I love that.
I love it. All right. That's going to wrap it up for this week. Big thanks to everybody who's been listening to us for the entirety of the year that we've been doing this. Shout out to people who've been joining us here as of late. I know that the state run, the Hurricanes run, all that kind of stuff helps bring on new listeners. So we appreciate you jumping on. More to come, including that podcast festival. We'll see you all tonight for a after dark following Game 3 between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Islanders.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It
Gets the people going.
Hitting the wrong one. Hold on a second.
Are we
There's-
still on?
No, we're still on. Here's
Oh,
the
hi,
outro. Here's the outro.